is why I'm constantly talking about dogma. And then I get people who are like, oh, well, Okinawans live to be 100, and they are mostly vegan. And the Seventh-day Adventists or whatever live to be over 100, and, you know, they're vegan. But I'm going to have to make a whole nother video on that, because this, again, is the problem with dogma, is you believe everything you hear without actually researching it. Okay, I have had karate instructors that actually lived and trained in Okinawa for the majority of their life, especially through World War II, which is around the time that the veganism thing was going on. And they have family that still live in Okinawa to this day, and they can vouch for the fact that this whole vegan thing is complete misinformation. And I have actually, I've trained with people, I have friends, I've trained with boxers and other martial artists who were actually stationed in Okinawa around the time of World War II when all this supposed veganism was going on. The actual Okinawan karate instructors who lived in Okinawa and have family in Okinawa, they have much more of a hands-on experience with this, and they all say this whole veganism thing is complete nonsense, it's misinformation. They ate a lot of pork, they ate a lot of fish, but during World War II, there was periods of food shortage and famine, and so that's why they resorted to plant foods. But everybody, if they had pig feet, if they had pork of any kind of fish or eggs, they would go for that, definitely. But they couldn't a lot of that time during World War II when this sweet potato craze is going on, because there was a lot of famine at the time, food shortages. But for the majority of the 1900s, Okinawa followed a pork, fish, and vegetable-based diet with small amounts of white rice, but not nearly as much as Japan. And then fermented foods and exercise was a huge part of their diet, was a huge part of their lifestyle. The majority of them practiced some form of martial art, whether that was kata, qigong, grappling, or just karate as a whole. And even if a lot of them didn't practice martial arts, but they lived a very active lifestyle, they all fish. There's a lot of fishing going on. There's a lot of gardening and growing their own vegetables. The majority of them got out in the sun very often, or got outside very often. They got a lot of exercise. They were very active, self-sufficient people. Okay, and all of these things play a big role in why they live so long. But from what I hear, and there's also data to back this up, you know, and you're not going to find it in the China study. You're not going to find it in the blue zones and whatnot. But from what I hear, the centenarians, the people who lived the longest, the majority of their life, they ate a lot of fish, a lot of raw fish, actually. They ate a lot of pork, a lot of pork feet, intestines, and other weird things. And they did eat a lot of vegetables, okay? A lot of sweet potatoes, and white rice was a part of their diet, but not nearly as much as Japan. So, and a lot of teas, a